going on, everybody? My name is Jason. I work at All Out Bikes in Four Oaks, North Carolina, and every day for the month of December, I'm going to be pulling bikes out from my personal collection. They're going to be collectible bikes, they're going to be rare bikes, or just plain unique. So be sure to subscribe to see what comes next. What's going on, everybody? Today's bike of the day is this 1984 Thruster Bioval or Bipower, one or the other. This bike is in really great shape, and it's got a lot of nice little parts on there. What we've got some original profile hubs. These are, for some reason, I'm wanting to say these are magnesium hubs. They could be aluminum, but these are the old profile hubs. We've got some Redline 401 cranks with a Phil Wood spider on here. We also have a Hadley bottom bracket on here, which is a major upgrade for these 401 cranks. We're going to have Shimano DX brake lever on here, a Shimano rear brake. We're going to have a, an Edco headset in really great shape. The original Thruster fork. We've got some Suntour pedals on here. These handlebars, these are some really cool V-bars, and I do believe these are some original Schwinn SX 2000, or basically it's a Schwinn handlebar. It's a brazed handlebar, very lightweight, but this is a really great bike, and I'm really lucky to have this bike. The way I got this bike was I was working at a bike shop in around the Raleigh area. I was working there about 20 years ago, and I saw a guy ride his bike past the shop, and from a distance I could see it was a brand new, I think it was a Gary Fisher, but I noticed it had some of these old pedals on there, and I was collecting BMX bikes then, and I was like, ooh, those look like some Suntour pedals. So I ran out the door and I flagged them down, and I asked him, where'd you get those pedals? And the guy was like, oh, me and my son, there's an old BMX bike in the basement of the house, and we've just been stealing parts off of that. And I was like, ooh, okay, well, do you want to sell those pedals? Do you want to trade them? Are there some pedals that you'd rather have for those pedals? And he said, well, I've been wanting to get some clipless pedals. And I was like, I've got some nice Shimano clipless pedals, brand new. I will trade you those pedals for those Suntours. And he was like, okay. So I offered to install the pedals for him, and I was talking to him, and we got to talking a little bit, and then I started to ask him if he knew what that BMX bike was in the basement of the house, and he said he had no idea, but it was just an old BMX. And I asked him if he'd be interested in selling it, if I could take a look at it, and he was like, I'd sell it. Yeah, you can check it out. So I got his address, and I drove to his house, and so I went to a complete stranger's house and went down into his basement. Not the smartest thing to do, but he seemed like a cool guy. So down in the basement, I saw this silver bike. There were no stickers on there, just sitting in the corner. I did notice that there was a T on the back of the bike here, and the first thing I was thinking was, Torker? I've never seen a Torker like that. Still didn't have a clue what it was. So I asked him if he'd sell it, and he asked what I'd offer him, and I told him that I had $90 with me, and he was like, that's fine. We can do that. So I bought it from him for $90, and I didn't even notice until I got back to the shop that this thing had these profile hubs on here. I didn't even think about checking the hubs to see what kind of hubs they were. So that was a big thing. And upon further inspection, I found out that it wasn't a thruster, a torquer, that it was a thruster. Okay, and I didn't even know about the history of thruster. I'd never even heard of them, but I found out that they are an amazing bike. They were very high end and very desirable. So that's how I got this bike. I had a friend of mine that did decals. He could make stickers, and I asked him if he could make me some decals for this bike. And the way I did it was I ended up buying some decals from eBay. I think I paid $50 for them, but they weren't in very good shape. And I brought those decals to him. They were brand new decals, never been used, but they were scratched up and wrinkled and such. He was able to get those decals, and he made me a brand new fresh set of decals to put on this bike, and he really nailed it out of the park there. These decals look amazing, and so thank you very much, James. But that's how I got the bike. I've got, I don't know, with the tires and the grips and the bike, I've got less than $200 in this thing. So I'm real thankful that I've got this bike in the collection. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to tell your friends. Check out some of the other videos on the corner of the screen. Don't forget to subscribe, and tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's Bike of the Day. See you then.